Coach Ricky, how was the progress of Vasyl since the last August?
Oh,
Are you making progress?
really make good progress, from, you start slowly and grow, just like a child go through different stages, the crawling, the crawling to the walking, to the running, So, it was great, he make good progress because he's very consistent, And
This is the point, consistency in the boxing, right?
is in everything in life. Whatever you do in life, whether you're doing marketing or whatever you do, you gotta be consistent about your thing, what you're doing,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's cool. So, what would you say to those who want to improve, maybe, let's say in box or other areas, professional areas, like they.
So like if they want to figure something out in life and they are debating if they should do it on their own or maybe they should hire a coach. So
Well,
like what difference would you describe?
I believe it's very important to have a coach because sometimes you might have a motivation to do something, but the motivation come and go. It might come for one day. You might be motivated to do something today, but tomorrow you ain't. But by having a coach, and a coach can tell you to just keep on going.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with feeling, because feeling as emotion comes and goes. But being disciplined, stepping one step at a time, you start climbing to height that you don't believe yourself can even climb. Just with a coach, It's like having a doctor, and a doctor might prescribe something to you, but a medicine to you, but you don't want it because you don't like how it tastes. You don't like how it make you feel. But in the end process, it's help you to recover from. I help you to be stronger.
See, Coach Ricky, would you say like if you had to quantify it by a factor, would you say if you do it by yourself versus with a coach, would you say that the difference is by a factor of 5, maybe by the factor of 10, faster with the coach? I mean, if you had to quantify.
With a coach, it's much faster. It's much faster. Because with a coach to me is 9 out of 10. With you doing by yourself, you can't, I look in it, you cannot even, if there's certain things you just cannot do it by yourself.
Yeah, and I can actually give you example.
Yeah.
Coach went to Jamaica for 1 month in February, and I hardly put any work because like with him, I know when I meet with him, we do it consistently. But if he went for Jamaica, I got lazy because coach is in Jamaica and then I'm getting lazy. So it actually shows the importance of that steadiness in having a coach. And that example really shows the point.
A coach is, let me tell you, man, people don't know. Coach is extremely important in anything. You can even see, for example, even with Mike Tyson, if you know the history behind Mike Tyson, when his coach, which is Customado, passed away, then he start making bad mistake, because a coach understand the road. He or she understand the road, how the step to make to be a champion, and that's in anything, in business, anything, it's like that.
Yeah, and I'd like to share 2 most important things the coach taught me. So, number one thing, I used to think before I started boxing, I used to think it's about hands, it's about arms. What coach taught me, the most important things in boxing is counterintuitively legs. Because with legs, you position yourself and you pivot when necessary. So if my position is wrong in boxing, and I do a bad blow, then my opponent does a strong blow and knocks me out. So you see, it's counterintuitive because most rookies like me think it's hands, but it's really about positioning.
yeah.
So you see, in business, it's also about positioning. But then he was teaching me to pivot for making a hook. It was very unnatural to me, and still kind of is, because and the tip he gave me: make sure, don't do it right away. Make sure your mental circuitry connects first. So he was talking about neuroplasticity and how neurons work. So they say if the neurons fire, they wire. So like, if it's a new process, it's super different, super awkward and unusual.
Yeah.
But eventually, if I don't, since it's unusual, if I do it right away, I'll make a bad hook. But if I take 10 seconds and position myself to make sure my position is right first, and then let my mental circuitry connect first, only then can I make a proper and effective hook.
Yeah.
So a big thing he told me, Vasyl, you have a lot of energy, but let's make sure you use that energy strategically and not just in nilly-willy fashion.
It's like fire, you know. Fire is good or bad. You can use fire to be disruptive, and you can use fire to cook food. And same way with a person who have a lot of energy, you know. You gotta create that energy and challenge it through your neuron system or what, you know. But by you challenging, it gotta be consistency, you know.
Yeah, and I'll show you some of my hooks were kind of like this over the top. So you see, it's like wasting my moment, kind of broad one. And the coach teaches me make an efficient one, like this. So not like this broad one and you're wasting a lot, but an efficient one. So in business, it's like when I make a move and we have limited resources. If I do it like this, I waste a lot of resources. If I do one like this, it's small and effective and powerful.
Yes, it's funny like how everything connected in life, business, like boxing. I'm a musician myself. I would say a lot of similar things that you can like do a lot of movements, but if you don't know why you're doing this, it's gonna like be energy not energy efficient, and like you're gonna spend a lot of resources. So hey guys, thank you for this interview. You wanna share something else maybe?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so the same with tax problems. You can try to do it yourself and do a petition to the IRS on your own, and you're gonna waste a lot of resources and energy and get rejected and have to redo it. It's much faster and efficient. For boxing, you go to the boxing coach. For a tax problem, you go to a tax guy, and it will be much faster and efficient. So I appreciate you, coach, coaching me and giving me this interview.
No problem, you know. Boxing is just a metaphor for life, you know, anything. And thank you, yeah?
Yeah.
Respect.
Thank you guys.
All right.